Hari Om. Welcome you all to this Ola Samskrita Sahitya Rasaswada series. We are reading Abhijnana Shakuntalam, second act now, and Dushyant has halted his hunting expedition on the request of Vidushaka. That was just a nimitta matra. He himself, did not want to hunt the mrigas who have close resemblance to the eyes of his beloved Shakuntala. And how could he aim the soft, delicate, and very beautiful, charming, captivating eyes of those deers who remind him the doe-eyed Shakuntala. And therefore, that has been halted. Now he has sent all other people, to their own work. Swani Yogam Ashunyam Kuru. And he is only with Vidushaka because he wants to confide something in him. And then he tells him, that you haven't seen the thing which is fit to be seen. Vidushaka just praises him, Bhavan Agrato me vartate, and then he says, Sarvaha Kantam Atmiyam Pashyati. But I am talking not about myself, I am talking about Tam Shakuntalam Adhikritya. And then Vidushaka says, oh, if I keep quiet, no, he will go on and on and on. I should stop him somewhere. And then he says, oh, Vayasya te tapasakanyaka abhyarthaniya drishyate. That sage's daughter, the daughter of the sage. So that is to dissuade, the king from his abhyarthana, from his, his love, which will take him ahead to that, because being a Kshatriya, he should not aspire, he should not love, his heart should not lose himself, to that Tapasa Kanyaka. And therefore, the word here, Muni Kanyaka, Tapasa Kanyaka, is very, very important. Vidushaka wants to dissuade king from Tapasa Kanyaka. Te Tapasa Kanyaka Abhyarthaniya Drishyate. Now it is king's turn to tell him what he has learned, that no, my dear friend, she is not a Muni Kanya. She is basically a Kshatriya Kanya, born of an Apsara, and it just brought over by this Muni, that is Kanva. So, Sakhe na pariharye vastuni pauravanam manaha pravartate. Before this, according to some editions, there is another verse, and it says, Dhing Murkha. You don't understand what you are speaking, Tapasakanya, Tapasakanya. Huh? And even if it is Tapasakanya, if a thing is so beautiful, won't you look at it with not even blinking your eyes? For example, the digit of the moon, the Chandrakor, Jashi Chauthi Cha Chandrachi Kor. So there is another verse like here, Nivarita Nimeshabhihi Netra Panktibhihi Utsukaha Navam Indukalam Lokaha Kena Bhavena Pashyati. With what intention in mind do people, Lokaha, it is Jatav Ekavachanam, not only one person, but the entire community, entire Samaja. So the people look at Navam Indukalam, the new digit of the moon. On the Pratipad, it is hardly visible. Bijechi core on the Dvitiya, it appears on the horizon only for a while. So it is only Chaturthi, Tritiya and Chaturthi where you can see the digit of the moon for a longer time. And therefore I said Chauthi Cha Chandrachi Kor. So Navam Indukalam Lokaha Kena Bhavena Pashyati Utsukaha San, with all curiosity and Nivarita Nimeshabhihi Netra Panktibhihi, with the rows of their eyes glued to that digit of the moon without even blinking for a while. So a good thing, a charming thing will captivate everybody's attention. That is what the verse says. But most of the editors have deleted this verse, saying, oh, this doesn't fit into Kalidasa's writing, So that is what we understand by critical edition. The critical editors take so many manuscripts and go through the manuscript. There is a collation chart and all that. Now, this is not a lecture on manuscriptology, but normally it is being done. And then they take out, whatever they feel. The critical editor feels, oh, this doesn't fit here. This doesn't, behove the pen of a Kalidasa, and therefore they will delete it. So most of the editions, they don't have this verse, and what they have is Sakhe na pariharye vastuni pauravanam manaha pravartate. The king is very proud of his Puru dynasty. Puru dynasty, the lunar dynasty, Pauravanam manaha na pravartate. It won't go for pariharye vastuni, on any forbidden or prohibited thing. So I, belonging to that Puru, that illustrious dynasty of Puru, Yayati, Puru and all, I am born in that dynasty. I won't go for any, like that. So, na pariharye vastuni, because, if you remember in the first act, he has that dilemma, because when he sees her and the brahmacharis on the way, they have told him that there is the Kanuva Duhita and she has been assigned the hospitality work and all, and Nati Duraha Ashramaha Vartate, so you go and just pay your obeisance to her. So he has that impression that she is a Munikanya, but when his heart pines for her, then he says, Asamshayam Ksatra Parigraha Kshamasa. I feel she is Asamshayam, without any doubt. Ksatra Parigraha Kshama. She is fit to be wedded to a Kshatriya. But still, I have to ascertain all these, but then his heart feels. And then there comes a beautiful generalization in the first act. Satam hi sandeha padeshu vastushu pramanam antahkarana pravrittayaha. So the antahkarana pravritti, his heart goes for her, and it is not very usual that his heart will pop up whenever he sees a very beautiful maiden, right? Because na pariharye vastuni. For the forbidden things, the Paurava people will not aspire for any such thing which is not meant for them. And then he says, Sura Yuvati Sambhavam, he wants to share the news that she is not Tapasa Kanya, and that has come in a very, very beautiful verse. Very beautiful verse, and a perfect Upama. Very, very perfect Upama. You have got 3-4 pairs, sets of two things, pairs, one applying to Muni and one applying to the other thing. So this is a very, very beautiful verse. Sura Yuvati Sambhavam kila munehe apatyam tadujjitarta gatam arkasyopari shithilam chutamiva navamalika sumam. Sura Yuvati Sambhavam. See, this apatyam, munehe apatyam, he calls it as munehe apatyam, but this is Sura Yuvati Sambhavam. This is born of a celestial damsel, a celestial lady, that is Svargangana. Okay? Divyangana, munehe apatyam Sura Yuvati Sambhavam, and Ujjita Gatam. So she has abandoned this apatya and went ahead to Swargaloka. This you understand as Arkasya Upari Shithilam Chutamiva Navamalika Sumam. This is something like a Navamalika Kusuma, the flower of the very fragrant and very gentle creeper of jasmine, a jasmine flower, Navamallika. The flower is Shithila, it has ripened, and therefore it will just, it will just drop down. It is not plucked by anybody. Understand? So Shithila, it on its own, it drops down, and where Arkasya Upari, on the Arka tree or the Arka bush. Arka is कसलं झाड म्हणतात, धोत्र्याचं झाड, रुईचं झाड, रुई we call. This is Arka Vriksha. It is a kshupa, it's not a vriksha, it's a kshupa, it's a bush, and it belongs to the sun god, they say, Arka. So Rui is a jhad. And the flowers of Rui, if you have seen, we used to take the flowers and puch like that. We used to do in our childhood. But they are not very attractive. They don't have any fragrance, because as is the krupa, as is that the bush, so is its flower. But on the arka, on that arka tree or arka bush, a very fragrant, very delicate, very soft. This Navamallika flower is it has fallen. Okay, on the arka, not below the root. Arkasya upari Navamallika kusumam chutamiva. And how this is as if dropped because it became ripe, shithila. So this apatya, because it is shithila, that is ujjita, and therefore gatam here, where munehe apatyatvam gatam. But basically it is Navamalika Sumam Sura Yuvati Sambhavam. So this Shakuntala is not really the daughter of the sage. She is really the daughter of a Swargangana, a celestial lady, and because she has abandoned and therefore she has been dropped down. Dropped down where? On the Muni's ashrama. In the Muni's ashrama, it is as good as a Navamallika falling on the Arka tree. Not anywhere else, not below. If it is below or somewhere near the Arka bush, maybe the wind has got it there. But Arkasya upari, that means as if people will feel, oh, this is the flower of Arka or what? This such a great flower, such a nice, delicate, fragrant flower. I really didn't know that Arka has such beautiful flower. And therefore, looking at Shakuntala at the outset, he was also stunned to see her beauty. And then he wondered, how could this Naishthika sannyasi or a brahmachari, first of all, how could she be his daughter? Number one. And secondly, she's so beautiful. And this is an old Jirna Kurcha Rishi. How can, you even think of that she belongs to him or she is his daughter? This is like, Kichad mein khila hua kamal, something like that. With no disregard for the Rishi, of course. This is just a simile to to see the what you can say, the similarity between the Surayuvati Sambhavaniyata of Shakuntala and she being compared to Navamalika Kusuma. So that is perfect. The Arkavruksha and Muni are not in any way to disregard or dishonor or disrespect the Rishi, but this is like a Virodha. To bring out the Virodha more prominently, this has been stated like this. Okay. Now here there are some more explanations needed. First is Apatya. Apatya, this word, this is used in a neuter gender here because he wants to compare it with Sumam. Sumam, Pushpam, Kusumam is neuter gender. And therefore he won't say Muni Kanya or Tapasa Kanya. So that is very, very intelligent. I mean, Kalidasa, who are we to give him a certificate for that? But then, the Upama has to be, even in that Upama, there is no Linga Vyatyasa. Because she is the daughter, she is feminine and Suma is neuter gender, and therefore he has specifically used Apatya. Apatya, the normal meaning of apati, na patati pita anena iti apatyam. Like the etymology of putra, punnamnaha narakat rayate iti putraha. It is said in the Puranas and other post-Vedic literature text that by begetting a putra, by begetting a son, the father gets, away from the fear of falling into naraka. So the son In a way, the son continues the family, the lineage. Therefore, it is called Santana, Santati, Tanaya, Tanuvistaye, right? And therefore, Punnamnaha Narakatrayate. The similar thing, na patati pita, patati kutra narake, na patati pita narake anena iti apatyam. Okay, and there is another derivation. In fact, in 2004, I had presented a paper on apatya in Maryland University. I'll find out if I can get it. It's more than 20 years, almost 20 years, yeah. July, yeah, July 2004 or 2003, somewhere there. So, apatatam bhavati ityapi apatyam. Apatatam bhavati, that means it goes away from the father. The child, when it grows away from the father. Apatatam bhavati. Apa is apadana. Tatam, he has his own family line then, but he no more longer or no more stays with the father, something like that. Apatatam bhavati. So there are so too many this thing, Now munehe apatyam, it is said munehe apatyam and arka there, So Muni and arka. So the mother's role in this apatya is very, very negligible. Just to give birth and then discard that child. Ujjita. Abandoned and then gata, right? So she just gave birth and left for her heavenly abode, and therefore she the child is really brought up by the father. Father has the maximum prominent role, and mother has no claim whatsoever, no role here, and therefore mune apatyam. Though she is surayuvati sambhava, it is munehe apatyam and not the surayuvati apatyam. Okay, so arkasya iti anena muni upamanena tadiyatvasya atyanta asambhavaniyatvam vyajyate. Arkasya iti muni upamanena. Arka and muni are together, right? So there are, I told you, there are 3-4 such sets of Purnopama, I told you, I'll just read it out from here. Yeah. So, Sura Yuvati Sambhava and Navamalika Suma. That is one pair. Sura Yuvati Sambhava and Navamalika Suma. Muni and Arka. Apatya and Kusuma. And Ujjita and Shithila. And Adhigata and Chita. Ujjita Dhigata. Ujjitartha Gata or Ujjita Dhigata. So Adhigata and Chuta. So all these are like pairs here. Now for here it is stated that Munisangat Anutkrishtvatvam Manyamanasya Vihasya iti uktihi. So that is Vihasya for Vidushaka, because he says it is Munehe apatyam. So Munehe apatyam is not so great, and therefore Vidushaka starts mocking even on that thereafter. Now this Rasham Balimbe has given a Marathi Padyanuvada done by done by Anna Saheb Kirloskar in the Sangeeta Shakuntala. In the Sangeeta Shakuntala, Anna Saheb Kirloskar has done the Padyanuvada of this verse in a very nice manner. I'll just read it for those who understand Marathi. Devastri Menaka Apsaratichihi Kanya. Devastri Menaka Apsaratichihi Kanya. Balapani is a sodunageli swargiti dhanya. Balapani is a sodunageli swargiti dhanya. Kanava munila mileti vani durmilaji anya. Kanava munila mile vanihi durmilaji anya. Pushpa jase jaiche galale रुई वरी की वन्या. वन्य अर्क वृक्षावर ज्याप्रमाणे जाईचं कुसुम गळलेलं मिळालेलं आहे, सो गळलेलं, उज्जिता. So this is the translation from this, and therefore upari iti anena shanka bijam, because it fell on the arka, people might misunderstand that to be the flower of arka, as I also thought that because she is nourished by Kanava, and because she is growing in that Kanava ashrama, I thought her to be Tapasakanya. So upari iti anena shanka bijam adhapatitasya shankapina ayati. That is what Raghava Bhatta, the commentator. See how these commentators, what you can say, take the microscope and see every word under the lens and then comment on that. So this is what this sutra, this shloka says. Sura yuvati sambhavam kila munehe apatyam taddujjitartha adhigatam arkasyo parishithilam chitamiva navamalika sumam. Then Vidushaka still takes it to be munehe apatyam, right? And then Vihasya. Vihasya, he smiles, mockingly he laughs. He wants to make a mockery of the king, and see the remark which is passed by him. He says, Yatha kasyapi pinda kharjuraihi udvejitasya tintinyam abhilashaha bhavet tatha stri ratna paribhoginaha bhavataha iyam abhyarthana. Again, a very common simile, common experience, like, when you eat lot of sweet things day after day, if there are bhiksha here in the ashrama, and day in and day out we have payasam, and then we feel, oh, I must eat something sour, some chaat, something spicy, tangy, like that. So pinda kharjura udvejitasya. So one who has been eating the pinda kharjura are the dates, pinda kharjura, full of the substance, gar yukta. I mean, maybe these are seedless dates. Okay, so pinda kharjura udvejitasya, you eat it daily, every day, then you get nauseating feeling. Every day you are eating that kharjura, which stands for sweetness, right? And therefore the sugar-free sweets nowadays, they are made up of kharjura, right? So pinda kharjura udvejitasya yatha tintinyam abhilashaha. Tintini, because our teeth, they stick to each other when you eat the sour tamarind. असे काय म्हणतात त्याला, काहीतरी त्याला मराठीत म्हणतात, whatever. So when you get tintini, the tamarind, then your teeth, like whatever. So you get that feeling, that tangy feeling, right? So, but then after eating kharjura for long time, then you feel like eating something tangy. Similarly, O king, you have been enjoying Stri Ratna Paribhoginaha. You have been enjoying Stri Ratna, the best of women in your harem, the beautiful and the best, of the women in your harem, and therefore your mind goes for this Vanakanya, for Tapasakanya. So this is the change of test. He is just mocking it away. He cannot really understand that king has really fallen in love with Shakuntala, and he wants to make a mockery because there is another fear, another fear in his mind. If the king is really in love with this Shakuntala, he would prolong his stay here. And now Vidushaka has had his time of hunting and away from the capital, away from his comfort zone, away from the apupa, modaka, and sleep, which he enjoys the most, and therefore he wants to go back and early, as early as possible. And if we, by any chance, promote or, just show any interest in what he says, he will prolong his stay, which will not really be very welcomed by Vidushaka. And therefore, yatha kasyapi pinda kharjuraihi. For anybody, this is like a very common experience. Yatha kasyapi पिण्डखर्जूरैः उद्वेजितस्य कस्यापि तिन्तिण्याम् अभिलाषः भवेत्. So is this test or this love or this liking for this Munikanya is for you something like Tintini, because you have been enjoying Stri Ratna Paribhoginaha, which is as sweet, as good as Pindakharjura. And therefore, this is just a diversion, a change of test, what you want. And Raja says, Natavadenam pashyasi yena evam avadihi. You have not seen her, and therefore you say this. If at all you had seen her, even once, you wouldn't have dared to make such a remark. Okay? Now, this particular sentence is very uncommon grammatically, and therefore, Kale has given some note on that. Na tavadenam pashyasi yavad yavad yena evam avadihi. Enam pashyasi is latlakara. It is a vartamana kala, that is the present tense, and avadihi is the lunglakara, the tritiya bhutakal, the third past tense, the aorist. Now, in a sentence, and na tavadenam pashyasi, the drishikriya has to happen first, and then speaking on that, right? So the karana comes in the latlakara in the present tense, and avadihi comes in the lunglakara, the past tense, the third past tense, which is very, very rarely used in classical Sanskrit, mostly used in the Vedic language. So what is it so special about this? So Kale has given a note on that. A curious construction, he says. The previous action in the present tense and the subsequent one in the past tense, that is very weird, that is very curious. We should rather expect pashyasi and vadasi. Na tavad enam pashyasi yena evam vadasi. That would have been better. Or adrakshihi for pashyasi. Or for pashyasi instead of present tense, there could have been adrakshihi, the lunglakara again, a past tense, then two past tenses in the same sentence, and that to karana and karya would have been perfectly logical. But this seems very curious, and perhaps, Kale comments, perhaps such constructions were in use in the days of Kalidasa. And then he quotes a sentence from Buddha Charita, which is quoted by Professor Ray, and that's a parallel instance from Buddha Charita. Yada bahir gacchati, see, gacchati is a present tense. Yada bahir gacchati parthivatmajaha tada abhavat dvaram apavritam swayam. Abhavat is a past tense. Gacchati is a present tense. So the karana comes in present, the previous action comes in the present tense, and the later, the subsequent action comes in the past tense. That is quite weird and quite illogical, perhaps, for us who go by grammar rules and all that. But then perhaps, as he says, this is a very colloquial way of saying. And because during Kalidasa's time, Sanskrit was a spoken language, such constructions are found in his works. In his works and the works belonging to that particular era. So, तू असं बोललास कारण तू तिला पाहत नाहीयेस. असं बोललास. What he said? पिंड खर्जूर उद्वेजितस्य तिन्तिन्याम अभिलाषा. Because you are not seeing her, right? And therefore, this makes sense because in Marathi also we can have such constructions very possibly used. And so this for me is a colloquial aspect of a language, and therefore we should not be finding fault with the what kala vyatyasa here. Okay, kala vyatyasa, so that is not here. Okay, then Vidushaka says, okay, if you say so, that I haven't seen her and therefore I'm just giving her an upama of Tintini, just a change of test. Tat khalu ramaniyam yad bhavataha api vismayam utpadayati. Then that munehe apatyam ramaniyam, again, all neuter gender being in continuation, or that vastu, ramaniyam khalu, that must be really, really very charming. Yet, bhavataha api, for you too. I mean, you are not a person who would fall a prey to anything which is beautiful anytime. So, king has his own discretion, discriminating power, and discerning aptitude. His heart won't pop out of his body when he sees anything beautiful. Because he is Paurava, he is a Kshatriya, he knows his Maryada, and therefore, if that Maryada Purusha, if his heart goes for Shakuntala, then she is really worth of it. So Vidushaka is on the same page with the king on this matter. Bhavataha api yad vismayam utpadayati. Then really that thing must be very, very charming, very, very beautiful. Then Vayasya Kim Bahuna, the king has another opportunity to describe Shakuntala. Again, a very, very beautiful verse. This verse number 9, very beautiful, and I will read Sanskrit commentary on that because it's very important. Chitre niveshya parikalpita sattva yoga रूपोच्चयेन मनसा विधिना कृतानु स्त्री रत्न सृष्टिरपरा प्रतिभाति सामे धातुर्विभुत्वमनुचिन्त्य वपुश्च तस्याः. Let us first take the word by word meaning and then we go to the commentary and the implications and the alankaras and the dhvani and whatnot. Chitre niveshya, having put her on the canvas, chitra, alekhya, okay. Chitre niveshya, there is a pathabheda chitte, but we don't take that. Chitre is very good because later on manasa vidhina kritanu, that manas is already there, the antakarana is already there. So chitte is not a very good pathabheda. Chitre is a good pathabheda. And then you have that whole picture, a painter has put a canvas and he is painting something, right? Chitre niveshya. Niveshya is a prayojaka. So the person or the thing, the object which the painter is drawing or painting doesn't come on its own. He has to place it. He has to draw and then put colors on it. And as long as he is not satisfied, he will look at the picture from this angle, from that angle, from far, from near, do some changes here, do some strokes here, do some light shade here, till he gets satisfied. So once there is a chitra, the painter, the artist has lot of time to fine and refine his own chitra. Right? So it is not that one stroke and the chitra is over. He will have every occasion and he will have a lot of time till he puts its signature and gives it for sale or packs it up. Okay? So till then, for days together also, he can work on the same work of art. The artist, real artist can do that. So, chitre niveshya parikalpita sattva yoga. And then, first, what Brahmaji might have done? What is that? Dhatuhu, dhata, vidhata is Brahma, the creator. He first might have put her, like painting, and then when he is satisfied, the painting is perfect, then he just breathed in life into her. Parikalpita sattva yoga. And then Parikalpita, he imagined that picture to be Sattva Yoga, full of life. That means he breathed life into that. He exhaled himself so that the chitra came alive. You know, it was a chitra, and then he breathed life into it. That is one option. Second is Rupochayena. All the Rupa, the best of the beauty in every genre, he picked, he collected. And Manasa Kritanu, Vidhina, Vidhi is again Dhata or Brahma. Visheshena Dhiyate Asya Manaha Asmin iti Asmin Kritau. Asyam Kritau. So, he perhaps, collected mentally the best of the beauties from all over, and then he created her from his mind. Manasa Kritano. So there is no Karasparsha. Raghava Bhatta mentions that. Maybe the Karasparsha could have maligned it by the Karasparsha, and therefore it is all mental creation. All beautiful things piled up together. So this is like the Rupochaya. This is like the Rupa, above that another Rupa, on the top another Rupa. So Rupa Uchaya, Rashi, Rupa Rashi, as if, and therefore she is so beautiful, as if Rupochaya, and this is mentally created by him. Fourth line we take first. Dhatuhu vibhutvam anuchintya vapushchatasyaha. Thinking of her flawless beauty, vapushchatasyaha. Flawless is not given here, but we have to take it because there is now thevala jaga nahi hai. It's so beautiful, so beautiful in every anga pratyanga, that like the naak chafekali sarkha, dole like kamaladala, everything, whatever are the standard benchmarks or the standard upamanas, in all that she fits in. And therefore her vapu, her body, thinking of her beauty, and dhatuhu vibhutvam, and the omnipresence of Vidhata. Vibhutvam, the all pervasiveness, the omnipresence of the Vidhata, of the Brahma. I think that Stri Ratna Srishti Rapara Pratibhati Same. I feel that this Shakuntala is Apara Srishtihi, is another creation, very different from what he has created earlier in as far as Stri Ratna is concerned. The best of the women being produced, being generated by Brahma are concerned. In that, as far as that is concerned, I feel this Shakuntala is Apara Srishtihi va Pratibhati me in Stri Ratna. Stri Ratna, like Purusha Ratna, Raja Ratna. Ratna is, the best, the jewel. Jatau Jatau Yadat Krishtam Tad Ratnamityabhidhiyate. In every genre, that which is the best is called Ratna. And therefore we have Stri Ratna, we have Raja Ratna, we have Purusha Ratna. Ratna could be attached to anything, okay? Because that speaks of the highest, the best. So if you take the fourth line first and then the third line, then the meaning becomes clear, because otherwise there would have been dosha. Dosha, because Stri Ratna Srishti Rapara Pratibhati Same, here the sentence becomes complete, right? And therefore, if you start a new argument, then that is Dhatu Vibhutvam Asyaha, Vapushcha Sasyaha Anuchintya. That starts a new sort of argument, and therefore the third line has to be taken before, and then the fourth line. Third line comes fourth, and fourth line comes third. That's what Raghava Bhatta wants to say. So let me read the Sanskrit commentary here. This is very, very interesting. चित्र इति विधिना ब्रह्मणा चित्रे आलेख्ये निवेश्य putting her on the canvas. Parikalpita sattva yoga means what? Krita prana yoga. Nu iti sandeha. Did Vidhata do like this? Did Vidhata do like that? So either this or that or this or that. There are 2-3 options, thought of by Kalidasa. So Krita prana yoga nu. यावद् रुचि मार्जनलेखनयोः तत्र सम्भवात् इति आशयः. Why चित्रे निवेश्य? यावद् रुचिः, as long as he wants to have, more liking into that and his satisfaction into that, marjanalekanayoho sambhavat. There is the possibility of sketching it again and again and marjana wiping it over and over again. So marjana lekhanayoho tatra sambhavat. Tatra nama kutra? Chitra falake, on the canvas. If on the canvas you put a picture, then till you get satisfied, yavadruchi, oh, I'm not yet satisfied. Something is missing here. You have seen the artists at work in the studios, how they will stare, they will look at their own kriti from different angles and do, some stroke like here, something like here, some shading, something they wipe out, something they bolden or highlight, till they get satisfied. So, yavadrichihi marjana lekhanayoho, this is very important, and therefore chitre niveshya is the right option. Okay. Rupanam samuchchayaha, rupa samuchchayaha, samudayaha, tribhuvana varti rupa samudayaha. So this rupochchaya becomes the upadana karana, the material cause. Rupochchaya becomes the upadana karana, the material cause, and manas becomes the karana, the instrument. So there is the upadana karana, and then you need an instrument to work something out of the material, to make an object out of the material. If there is the clay, mrittika, the upadana karana is there, but there has to be an efficient cause, who is the karana, the potter, who will give the shape to that, right? So what is the karana here? Manas is the karana. So rupochchaya is the upadana karana, manasa karanena kritanu. And in that what happens? Ataeva karasparshadi abhavat. There is no karasparsha in that. Karasparshadi abhavat tadrisham kantimatvam etadrik lakshanatvadikam iti bhavaha. Because there is no karasparsha, your hand, sometimes your fingers get sweating, perspiring, and therefore whatever you are drawing, that gets maligned or soiled by your own karasparsha. But then there is no such possibility here. Karasparshadi abhavat tadrisham kantimatvam. The kanti which she possesses, Shakuntala possesses, is possible only when it is not soiled at all. And that's why I said it's a flawless beauty. There is nothing, not even a single speck where, this is not proper, you would say. Nothing of that sort. Anena yat sparsha asahata angeshu komalasyapi vastunaha tat saukumariyam iti saukumariyam dhvanitam. Anena, what is suggested? Saukumariya. Saukumariya is delicateness. And what is the definition of Saukumariya, Saukumariya, it is said, sparsha asahata angeshu komalasyapi vastunaha. Even the tendermost, delicate-most, komala, the softest thing, if you touch it, like the peacock feather, or the white silk cloth, the softest of that, then your hands, your finger would malign it, right? And therefore, sparsha asahata angeshu. Karasparsha would give that asahamanata, that would soil it, and therefore, manasa, it's all devised by mind, by vidhata. What a beautiful imagination, right? Tat Saukumaryam Anena Saukumaryam Dhvanitam and Sandeha Alankaraha. Will it be that he created it by mind only, so that there is no hand involved? So she is not handled in any manner. A thing gets handled, it gets soiled. The more and more the pages you turn over, the pages get soiled, isn't it? So handling maligns a thing. And here, therefore, has the Vidhata made her through his mind only, so that there is no karasparsha, though he is like a generator, the creator, he has that rupochaya. He has the material cause, but he hasn't given any shape, human shape to that, because kara sparsha asahata angeshu komalasya. And therefore, she is more Sukumara, the most Sukumara thing in the world, because there is no human touch. There is no touch of even the Brahmadeva. Then Kechana nu shabdasya vitarkavachitvat utpreksham manyante. Because there is nu used here, it could be like utpreksha, an imagination. And asambandhe sambandha rupa ubhayatra atishayoktischa. There is sambandha, asambandha both, and therefore there is atishayokti also. There is utpreksha, there is sandeha alankara. Kvachit rupochayena ghatita manasa kritano. There is a pathabheda here. Rupochayena manasa vidhina kritano. Instead of that, rupochayena rachita manasa kritanu or ghatita kritanu, there is a pathabheda. Iti yojaniyam manasi dhyatayaha rupa niveshanena shlakshnatvam masrinatvam, the softness, tadrisha kantimatvadi vyajyate. So this is only manas contemplating on that sort of beauty, and therefore that sort of delicacy Shakuntala's body has got. Atra stri ratna srishti utkrishta stri srishti ratnam svajati shreshte api ityamaraha apara jagat stri srishti vilakshana ityabhede bheda rupa atishayokti dhatuhu vibhutvam nam samarthyam tasyaha cha vapuhu anuchintya iti aparardhe hetutvena yojyam. The fourth line gives you the hetu, and the third line, Stri Srishti Rapara Pratibhati me, is the Karya, and therefore the Hetu comes first. Tritiya Chaturtha Charanayoho Vyatyaya Pathena Samapta Punaratta Doshaha Parihartavyaha. If you read third line first, then Stri Ratna Srishti Rapara Pratibhati Same Samapta. The thought process gets over. It gets concluded, and then the fourth line gives you the hetu, and then it becomes a logical fallacy. Samapta punaratti doshaha. So the thing which is concluded has restarted again. Punaratta. Okay? It has begun newly. So to have that fallacy overrid, what we have to do is Tritiya Charanayoho, Tritiya Chaturtha Charanayoho, Vyatyaya Pathaha. That means Chaturtha Charana you should read first, and then you should read the third Charana. प्रसिद्धसृष्टेः ताभ्यामेव निराकरणात् उत्प्रेक्षाद्वयस्य आत्मना निराकरणात् अन्यस्य अभावम् आशङ्क्य तत्र हेतुत्वेन ल्यबन्तद्वययोजना. There is ल्यबन्तद्वययोजना. This is anuchintya. Dhatuhu vibhutvam anuchintya, and this niveshya. So there are two like lyabantas used here. So every word is like highlighted here. So I think this is the Kavyalinga Alankara, Vasanta Tilaka Vritta, and this is what Raghava Bhatta had to say. Now similar things, you find in elsewhere also. For example, in the Malati Madhava Nataka by Bhavabhuti, Malati Madhava, it's a prakarana, and there Madhava, the minister's son, he describes Malati, the heroine, in a very wonderful manner, but that reminds me more of Asyaha Sarga Vidhau Vaksha, of Vikramorvashiya rather than this. Of course, there are also 2-3 possibilities, and here are also 2-3 possibilities of her creation. Let us read what Madhava has to say about Malati. He describes her as Sa Ramaniyaka Nidhehe Adhidevata. She is the overlord, over-governing deity of Ramaniyaka Nidhehe. Ramaniyaka, charming thing. Nidhi, of the Rashi of that, the treasure of that. So she is the deity of the treasure of charming things. That means she rules over all the charming things. She is the most charming person. Ramaniyaka Nidhehe Adhidevata va Saundarya Sara Samudaya Niketanam va. Or she is the Niketana, abode of Saundarya Sara, the gist of beauty. Saundarya Sara Samudaya. Sara Samudaya Niketanam va. Tasya Sakhe Niyatamindu Sudhamrinala Jyotsnadikaranam Abhut Madanascha Vedaha. Who could have been the cause of her beauty? Who must have created her? Who could be the Vedaha, the creators of Malati? He says Madana, then Indu Sudha Mrinala Jyotsna. Indu, the moon, Sudha, the nectar, Mrinala, the lotus stalk which is as white as swan and as delicate as anything else. And Jyotsna, again the moonlight which is white and which is cooling. Some people are beautiful, but their beauty is fiery. Like Draupadi, she is Agnishalaka. But there are other people, other women who are beautiful, they are charming, and there is soothingness, there is cooling beauty in them. It is not fiery beauty, it's a cooling beauty, and that is why he says Indu, Sudha, Jyotsna, and Mrinala, they might have worked together along with Madana in the creation of Malati. Vikramorvashiyam, Kalidasa says, Asya Sarga Vidhau Prajapatirabhut Chandrono. Who could have been the Prajapati of Urvashi, Who must have created Urvashi? It is Chandra, it is Swayam nu Madanaha, Maso nu Kusumakaraha, or the month of Kusumakara, the Vasanta Rutu. The very spring season might have, carved her out, chiseled her out. Vishaya Vyavritta Kautuhalaha. How could Brahma, the Jirna Kurcha, Lambi Dadi and White Dadiwala, this Brahmadev, how could he create? Because he is already devoid of, away from Vishaya, all the objects of pleasure. Vishaya Vyavritta Kautuhalaha Katham sa Munihi, Purana Munihi, the age-old Brahma. How could he be called the creator? Certainly, Urvashi is not created by him. Urvashi must have been created by the moon or Madana himself or Maso Nukusmakaraha. So the same thing is echoed here in Malati Madhava. Interestingly, Banabhatta in his Kadambari, he describes the beauty of Chandala Kanya, who comes, with the caged parrot in mm, the assembly of King Shudraka, the first scene. He describes her, Manyecha iyamutpadita prajapatina, Manyecha iyamutpadita prajapatina asprishata, not touching her. That is important because Karasparsha will also soil the beauty. Karasparsha will soil the beauty. Prajapatina asprishata iyam utpadita athava katham iyam aklishtata lavanyasya nahi karatala sparsha kleshitanam avayavanam idrushi bhavati kantihi. The thing which is carved out by hand, the fingers are bound to soil it. And idrishi kanti, such a beauty you cannot find when a thing is created by hands. And therefore, asprishata, without touching, that means by mind. So, manasa kritanu. So that is very, very important. Manasa kritanu is important. And Kale has quoted, compare this with the Tennyson's description of Juliet taken from The Gardener's Daughter. And he quotes here 3 lines. I will read it out and then we'll stop. A certain miracle of symmetry, a miniature of loveliness, all grace, summed up and closed in little. All summed up. This is Rupochaya, is it not? Rupochayena manasa kritanu. So this is a very, very wonderful shloka, and that at the same time highlights, how this is Stri Ratna Srishtihi Apara. This is something different, outwardly, beyond this normal world. Similar is the description of Tanvi Shyama Shikharidashana, in the Meghaduta of the Yakshapatni. So all the heroines of Kalidasa, they are painted like as if in a picture, and then they are breathed life into, or they are created by mind, because otherwise the Karatala Sparsha would have soiled them to any extent. So chitre niveshya parikalpita sattva yoga rupochayena manasa vidhina kritano stri ratna srishti rapara pratibhati same dhatur vibhutvam anuchintya vapushchatasya. So when I think of her flawless beauty, her anagha lavanya, there is no sandeha, no doubt about anything, any anga and pratyanga of her. And when I think about dhatuhu vibhutvam, dhata, Brahmadeva, is capable of creating anything by mind, right? And therefore dhatuhu vibhutvam anuchintya and tasyaha vapushcha anuchintya, I just have to come to a conclusion that though it is called Surayuvati Sambhavam Apatyam, yet the Dhata has designed her by his mind, collecting all beauties in the world together, right? And as if he has carved her, he has painted her in a canvas, and till he was satisfied, he did and redid, visited and revisited, looked and relooked at his own kriti time and again till he got mental satisfaction. So that is the beauty of Shakuntala, unparalleled. Unparalleled. This is the mysteriously what you can say, miraculously charming beauty of Shakuntala, which is described in a very beautiful manner. The next verse also will describe it in more beautiful manner, but we'll stop here now. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.